Hello.
Hello.
Work with me. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm doing a t-shirt. I'm sweating balls. Fries, curly fries. I got my Jolly Ranchers. Skittles. Fuck me. It's hot like a chicken bollock in here.
Okay. We move. 3 people. This dog doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Savvy, I do what I want. She asked me where my hoodie from. That's fresh love for the fit. On D&D, I don't pick it up cause my bitch told me let's trip. Yeah, it's up, now it's stuck.
Hey guys, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Courtney Lawlor. I am a 21-year-old British girl, and my channel is just based around on like mini story times and vlogs and anything you guys want me to do. So if there's anything you guys want me to do, just comment it down below or message me and tell me, and then I will do it at some point. But here we are. My San Francisco vlog just came out yesterday. If you're watching this a week later, then it'll be last week. You know how it goes. Yeah, okay, cool. Today's video is a story time that everyone has been asking me for since I've been back from San Francisco. And so today's story time is me explaining about my experience on meeting the STURNIOLO triplets for the very first time, and meeting triplets for the first time in general anyways. So without further ado, get some snacks, get a drink, go have a quick break, toilet break or whatever, because I don't know how long this story time is actually going to be. I'm gonna try put it in as much detail as possible. The very first half of this video is me answering your guys' questions that you've had about me meeting the boys, and then the second half of the video is the actual story time itself. So without further ado, let's just get straight to it. Someone said your favorite outfit between the three. See, this is tricky because Chris's outfit was amazing with like his beanie and stuff. Matt was just in mainly denim, and Nick was in this lovely, beautiful, like purple and black kind of like vest jacket thing. So it's very difficult to pick. But if we're going with stylish for that show, Nick's outfit was top tier. Loved it so fucking much. But overall, oof. See, I love beanies, so I want to say Chris, but then I really love denim. So, and denim looks great. So I really want to say Matt. I can't pick. So I'm just going to go with the easiest option and say Nick, because Nick's outfit was actually kind of cool. And so far, for all their shows that they've done so far, their first show outfits, San Fran's outfits were the best out of every single one so far. So, you know, what was your favorite moment? My favorite moment you mean in out of the show, or like just out of the whole experience? If it's out of the show, part of it all, I'd say maybe the Jenga, because even though it's boring watching someone play Jenga for 17 minutes long, it's fun because you feel the tenseness, if that makes any sense. Like, it's so intense, and it's like seeing and waiting who's gonna knock it over kind of thing, you know? So like at the same, so yeah, I'd probably say the Jenga for the show. But if it's overall, then maybe Backstage, because you get a little bit longer with them, and you get to talk to them way more than what you do at small talk, if that makes any sense. Because small talk is a quick, whereas Backstage you get more time, like more one-on-one interaction with them, and kind of get to know them just a little bit more for a little bit longer period of time. How long did you have to wait in line? So VIP, Diamond and Gold, check-in was at 2 p.m. We got there for about 12:30. Yeah, check-in's at 2, and then you don't actually, VIP and Gold don't actually get let in until about 4, half 4. But they were running late with it, so we didn't get until like half 4. But I'd say a couple of hours or so. And then GA, general admission, gets let in at 6:30. Because the show starts at 7:30. It didn't start till like 7:45, but it's okay. How nervous were you on a scale from 1 to 10? 10. Above 10, I was shitting myself. I was so fucking, like, just so nervous. Because, like, thing is with me, I'm a very, very chill person once, like, I've met you, like, before and kind of thing. Like, if I've already met you once or so, the next time I see you, I'm gonna be very, very chill. But if it's my first time meeting, especially when it comes to, say, celebrities, you know, it's very nerve-wracking because you don't want to make a fool of yourself, which I ended up doing anyways the moment I stepped into small talk. Someone said, how do you get over an anxiety attack when you want to meet them for the first time? See, I was very anxious while waiting outside and waiting in the small talk line. But once you step into small talk and you're face to face with them, everything goes. Everything goes. I say that. Me, different story. I was shaking the whole time during small talk. But then once I got back, once the show was over, and then it was backstage, I was way more chill and calm. So, like, I don't know, just once you're in their presence, it kind of all just goes, if that makes any sense. And it's always good to kind of have that anxious feeling beforehand, because then, you know, once it's gone, it's gone. Like, after that, I didn't have it for the rest of the show, so it was, like, great. Who was the easiest to talk to? Okay, so when it comes to small talk, for me personally, Nick was the most easiest to talk to, even though I spoke less words to him, if that makes sense. I don't know how that was even possible. I think I spoke to Chris the most out of small talk, and Matt asked him one question, but it kind of turned into like a tiny conversation. And then Nick was like a couple of things, 2 different like things, but he was so easy. Because like when I met Chris, it was just, yeah, and I couldn't speak properly, you know, like the words just weren't forming. And then Matt, the same thing. But Nick, as soon as when I was greeting Chris, it was a hi. When I was greeting Matt, it was a hi. But then when it came to Nick, I was like, Nick, hi. Like, I don't know, I just felt so much more comfortable. I feel like Nick is the easiest to talk to out of them, like, for the small talk part. But backstage, Chris was actually the easiest to talk to. But because of my experience, I had longer with him than the other 2. So it was like, I got comfortable, if you know what I mean, to actually just stand there and have a conversation. Whereas I had less time than the others. But all 3 of them, by backstage, when it came to backstage time, all 3 of them were so easy to talk to. But Nick, small talk, easy. Chris, backstage, easy. But that's on my experience and my behalf, so please don't go by what I say, because it could be different for anyone else. Because I've seen some people say Matt's the easiest to talk to, or Chris is the easiest to talk to. Everyone has a different experience, so, you know, who did you feel most comfortable with? Same thing, to be honest. Well, no, Nick felt more comfortable small talk, but backstage, all 3 of them, legit all 3. Not just like Chris or anything, legit all 3 of them, like, you know. Their favorite hug. Now, I know everyone that I know that has met them many times before says Nick has the best hug, And when I was preparing myself to meet the boys, everyone was telling me like, oh, you're gonna love Nick's hugs, like he gives the best hugs out of the three. But for me, Chris actually has the best hug. But he was very like, all three of their hugs were amazing, you know, they were sweet, their hugs were like welcoming, but I don't know how to word it without it sounding very weird. Okay, this might sound a little weird, but I'm not meaning it in that way because I don't know how else to word it. But Chris's hug was very like very gentle, if that's the right word for it. His hug was like very, very gentle. So for me, he kind of gave the best hug. And like, even like when it came to like the red carpet part, his hug was still gentle. And that one was just like a side hug. Like it was like, but it's like, yeah, let's just, he was my favorite hug, 100%. And I'm not saying it just because I'm a Chris girl. I was really hoping it would be Nick, like what everyone was telling me, but from my experience, Chris was my favorite hug. Someone said, did you overcome your fear of triplets? See, the thing is, like, it was very bad and I was so scared, but after meeting them and then it came to like watching their show and then came to Backstage, I didn't even think nothing of it at all. It all went out of my head. I didn't even remember, like, that's like, they made it go, like, I don't know, like, okay, stepping into small talk, looking straight at Chris and then looking over his shoulder and seeing Matt and Nick, it scared me for about 10 seconds. My brain wasn't processing it like very quickly than I thought it would have, but it was processing it quite slowly. So I was very, very terrified in the moment because I'm surrounded in a room real close to each other by 3 people that look the same. So I was very, very terrified. But Backstage, it didn't really hit me at all because they were further away from each other on their own tables. So I wasn't really thinking nothing of, like, when I was talking to Chris, it didn't think nothing of Nick being here and Matt being here. It was just straight, just like, you kind of forget that they're in the room when they're like that, but when it's small talk and they're legit right near each other, like back to back, it's very, very terrifying for me. So overall, I would say, yeah, I mean, they helped it basically, if that makes any sense. Like, when Caitlin told Matt that I had a fear of triplets, and he was like, triplets, that's crazy. I was just like, yeah. And then that's when it just like, she reminded me and I was just like, damn, like, did I really just like accomplish? Is that how you say it? Accomplish? Whatever the word is. Did I really do it? Like, did I really just face it? And did it really just go that well? Like, if anything, I faced it. It went really good. It was a fun experience. I thought it was going to be a bad first experience meeting triplets, but the boys made it fun. So, and they made it chill and they made it comfortable, if that's like the right term for it. But yeah, if anything, I thank the boys for making it a fun experience and doing what they did. And when they talked to you, being so sweet and chill and gentle with it, so like they didn't make you scared, kind of thing. But overall, yeah, maybe, I think so. Would I meet triplets again? No. Maybe. I think for now, if anything, they would be the only ones I would want to meet in like future tours and stuff, just to kind of get used to the fact of being in a room with people that look the same and not just like 2 of them, like 3. So And then after that, I might be able to like gradually like chill with like triplets more. But where I live, there's no triplets around, so it's like it's kind of like hard for me. But yeah, what was your favorite part about being in San Fran and seeing the triplets? Favorite part about seeing the triplets was just seeing who they are, seeing that they're real. Let's be real, making sure that they're real. I'm joking, of course they're real. Probably just meeting them and getting to know their vibe and who they are, you know, and not just like seeing them over a phone screen and it's in person, so it's like a better experience. My favorite part about being in San Fran was being with my best friends, because we had a blast. Even though it was like 4 or 5 days and it went really, really quick, we had a laugh, we had a blast. It was amazing. That's probably the best bit, just being in an Airbnb with them and just being in their presence and just having a good friendship and having fun, you know. What was your least / most favorite part of the venue? Like, did you wish there were seats, or if the venue was bigger? The venue was massive. There was seats, but they were for the parents above. That was for where the parents were to sit. The floor was quite big. But the least favorite part of it was probably when fans push, because like no one pushed me. Don't get me wrong, no one pushed me. Like, I was at Barricade, and when I went to the Skies concert, I was getting pushed to hell at that Barricade. Like, I was getting pushed into the Barricade because of how small I am. But no one was pushing me. But like, it's when fans push. The only thing I didn't like about being on the floor with other fans was like when the triplets at the end throw out free merch. Like, it's like, bro, I didn't want any. I'm good. I didn't want any free merch. I didn't want anything, so I didn't even put my hand out for it. So I stayed hanging on to the Barricade, and I was covering my face because I was like this the whole time, because these fans, they push and fight each other for the merch. Like, if someone like gets past it, no one can really fight you because you're legit getting past it. But when it's getting thrown to someone, they're all pushing and shoving and trying to fight for the thing, and it's like a fucking scary experience, because it's like, it's just a bit of clothing. Like, come on, like, I know you want it and it's free and the boys are throwing it themselves, but like, there are some really small kids there too, and it's like, if you're gonna squash them, be careful. Like, it's just a bit of clothing. That's the bit I don't like. That's my least most favorite, because I don't know, I just hate, I get claustrophobic too, so getting like really crowded, like ducking down because these boys are throwing their merch and it's like these fucking fans are going over you like this. It's like, yeah, for my claustrophobic self, that wasn't a great experience, so that would probably be my least. But my most favorite part of the venue, I don't know. I didn't like where Backstage was, but I'll get to that in the actual story time. Yeah, no. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, the room the small talk was in was lovely. And the hall where the red carpet and the show was, it was cute. I can't really pick a most favorite about the venue itself. How's it being around other fans? Were they mean, rude, or annoying? No. If anything, I got noticed a couple of times by a couple of people that follow me on TikTok and Instagram. They were so nice. They were very, very nice. They were talking to me and Lily because we came from England, so it was like a very big experience, and I think we were the only 2 British people at the show, so it was like, it was kind of crazy. But no, they were so sweet. They were lovely. They're not horrible fans. You do get the odd ones that just look at you weirdly, but it's like, people look at people weirdly sometimes, and it's just like, you just brush it off like it's nothing. Like, okay, you do you. Like, the fact, I don't even give a fuck. But no, all the fans were lovely. I loved being around them. I kind of wish it was longer, so you get a longer time with them, but it's like, there's always next time, you know? Do you know how they pick the teammates? Laura did. So for the people, I don't like calling people out because it's not my kind of thing, but the people that are moaning that the boys have their favorites when picking their teammates, the boys have no say. The boys have no part in it whatsoever. It's all Laura. She picks them from like small talk and just waiting for the show to happen. It's the vibes you give off and how you are when it comes to meeting the boys and stuff. And who she think would just be a good teammate for the boys. So it's all Laura. The boys are not involved in it. So for the people that are saying, oh, the boys have their favorites, stop it, because that's not the case at all. Like, at all. So it was on Sunday the 24th of September. Show, we had to be there really early, so I got woken up at 8:30. Caitlin woke me up, but she made sure to have a Dr. Pepper, because if you're gonna wake me up, make sure you have a Dr. Pepper or energy drink or some sort, because ain't no way I'm just gonna end up being a moody bitch, and I need a drink as soon as I wake up, and not water, because I hate water. It's disgusting. Ew. So yeah, Caitlin woke me up at 8:30. She stayed in my room until about 10. Lily woke up about 9. So we were just chilling, trying to get rid of our nerves, just vlogging, doing our thing. We made a few transitions on TikTok for our tour outfits, so we got ready. We were ready by I think about 12, half 11, 12. And we got there for about 12:30, 1. The drive there was a bit long because of some traffic, but it's American roads, so that's something to expect. The ride on the way there was very scary, because once you get in to the actual thing, like once you're on your way there, knowing what's gonna happen in a few hours is very, very scary. But my friends were messaging me, they were making me feel a little bit better for the car ride. So we got there about 1, half 12, 1. We were just standing outside the whole time. A couple of girls recognized me from TikTok and stuff, and was just asking me about my journey, and it was nice to meet some of you that recognized me. I was not expecting to get recognized over there at all, but it happened, and it was a lovely experience. It was so nice meeting every single one of you guys. I don't know if it was Fahrenheit or degrees, but it was 19 something, and it was scorching. We were all sweating. I was dehydrated by the time it was even time to even go into the venue. Like, it was that hot, and if you was to like get out the line to go to the shop, you would lose your spot in line, and we were quite near the front, so it was very like stressful because it was so hot. And we were waiting, then check-in was at 2, so they come around, these 2 guys come around at 2 to check you in, give you the bracelets that you like, the wristbands that you need. So obviously the diamond one was a silver, like diamondy kind of thing. It was really nice. And then backstage was orange and front of line was green. I had platinum and backstage, so I got them. They just like ask you like your last name, and then they find you, and then it tells them on the sheet like what you bought, so they know what wristbands to give you. And then they check everyone in, so platinum and gold go in first, then it's silver, and then general admission, or general, yeah, then silver once small talk's finished, and then general admission. And then doors open at 6:30 p.m. for general admission. So we got checked in at 2, and then around 4 we were supposed to go in, but they were running late. It was something to expect. Yeah, they were running a bit late, so we actually didn't go until around like 4:30. So if you're wearing hats or anything, they make you take them off because they have like this security metal detector thing and stuff, and tells you if you've got drugs on you or whatnot. So had to do that, had to go through that, and then you go in and they scan the barcode on your ticket. And then there was like these 3 people. This dog doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Anyways, there's these 3 people at a table, and they were each in the color of the boys' like teams, and they ask you when you walk in like, oh, like what team are you on? And me being my nervous, anxious self, not really wanting to speak because I don't like my accent, just pointed at the one that was wearing orange for Chris. And yeah, and then while you're waiting in line for small talk, you scan like this barcode on like a stand, and it takes you to a site, and it's just to take a picture of yourself so that when it comes to the red carpet, it scans your face in the picture and then it will send it straight to your phone. So yeah, done that, and then it was just waiting in line to like meet the boys. Caitlin went first. I told her, you're going first because ain't no fucking way I'm doing it. Then it was me, and then it was Lily. Now when I saw Caitlin going, I was like, okay, now I don't know what to do, because the security guard was trying to calm me down because it was like, I don't know what to do, like this is my first time meeting the boys, like, but no, it's not even just about the boys, it was like, this is my fucking hoovering now, Jesus, it's my first time meeting like triplets, like a set of triplets. Like I've only ever met twins. I've never seen a set of triplets in my life, like in person at all. I was so scared. I didn't know how the experience was gonna go. I legit thought the experience was gonna go really, really bad, because I'm scared of triplets, and because they were the very first set of triplets that I was like meeting, I was so terrified. While waiting for like Caitlin to talk to Chris and stuff, I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable, because it was like, I'm in a different country, I haven't got my family with me, the only thing I have on me is a fucking asthma pump and some glucose tablets to like sort my sugar out, which I had to take a lot of, by the way, because my sugar was dropping very, very bad. But I was just like very, very, very scared, and I didn't know how my experience was gonna go interacting with them, or even just seeing them, like, or being in the same room as a set of triplets. Okay. And then, bearing in mind, I will post everything on TikTok, like my actual small talk conversations. I can't post my backstage ones because my dumb self forgot to screen record the camera thing while talking to them backstage, but I remember every conversation in the back of my head, so it's okay, I can just explain it. And then it was my turn to go in for small talk. Now I kind of wish I could go back and change how I greeted Chris, because I feel so embarrassed. So obviously Chris first, then Matt, then Nick. Now at first I took a quick glance round the corner, and before I even fully had to step in to like meet them, and saw Chris, and then I just looked over his shoulder and it was just a Matt and Nick, and I saw their faces, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know how the fuck this is gonna go. Like, I'm fucking terrified. Like, I'm really, really, really scared. Like, I don't know, it just a wave of fear and wave of being uncomfortable just hit me. And it was like, this is crazy, like they legit look the fucking same, just different hairstyles, and one's just a tiny bit taller than the others, but like it was fucking scary. I was so terrified, and I felt bad because I didn't want to feel uncomfortable or terrified when it came to them. But like in the heat of the moment and being scared of triplets at the time, it was like very, 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 very scary, and I just felt really uncomfortable. But then I actually stepped foot into the room, and I turned the corner, and this is what embarrasses me. I feel so embarrassed. So I made eye contact with Chris. My stupid self just done like the, you know, when you look at someone, you're like, you look away, be like, oh my god, like you make that weird face when you look away, and you're like, you know, that's what I did, and I fucking regret it because he was just standing there and he was just looking at me, and he just had this massive smile on his face, and I was just, I don't know, it was just very but his outfit was lovely. He was, if you haven't seen anything, he was wearing a black beanie, an orange zip up top jumper thing, and I don't know if he was wearing jogging bottoms, but they were like cargo jogging bottoms or whatnot. He was wearing black trousers and he was wearing white Air Forces. So yeah, anyways, he was standing there looking at me, waiting for me to go over. Massive, massive smile on his face. He had a beautiful smile, by the way. They all have beautiful, beautiful smiles. But then I just looked back at him, put my arms out, went in for a hug. And the first thing when he said when he saw me, because I said hi, and the first thing he said when he saw me was, I'm pretty sure he said, you're all dialed in or something, because of my outfit was like so much orange. For someone that hates the color orange, I hate the color orange. I made sure I went out of my way to put as much of the color on to really show that I was rocking out his team, like I'm legit on his team. Because if anything, if I know I could have worn all three colors, because if anything, might be a Chris girl, might be team Chris, but deep down I'm just a STURNIOLO girl. But actually no, deep down we're all Trevor girls, but we're not going to talk about that. But I just wanted to put on as much like orange as possible. And yeah, so the first thing he said was, all like, you're all dialed in or something like that. The small talk video will be posted later on my TikTok, so you'll be able to hear the actual conversation. I can't remember that word for word because it went so quick. But yeah, and then we were just talking and he was signing the card, and obviously he asked how I was, and I was like, I'm really scared. And he was like, there's no need to be scared. And I was like, well, I just flew out here. And he was like, oh really? And I was like, yeah, like I've just come from the UK. And he was like asking me how long my flight was, and I was just like 11 hours here. And he was like, oh wow. And I was like, yeah. And then it came to taking the pictures. I asked them all to take the picture for me, because I think especially Matt noticed how shaky my hands were. My hands shake 24/7, like they're shaking right now. They shake 24/7. I really need to get that checked out though, because I don't know why my hands are so shaky. But yeah, my hands were shaking, so I asked him to take a photo. And then obviously he says like, it was nice meeting you, and I'm like, nice meeting you too. And Chris was very, if I was to explain him and his personality, or like the vibe that he gave off, because when I'm meeting people, I like to try and sense their vibe as much as possible, so I know what they're like as a person. And if anything, Chris was very gentle and sweet and chill and confident. And being confident is probably the best thing, and something I don't have. I'm working on it, so I'm a little more confident than I used to be. But being around someone that is confident themselves and shows that it's okay to be confident, like, make sure you just love yourself and just be yourself. And his hugs were gentle, like the way he talked, it was like very sweet but chilled, and the vibe was good vibes there. So me and Chris was good. Then it came to Matt, and obviously I just said hi because I was scared. Matt's eyes are very blue, by the way. All their eyes are so fucking blue, it's unbelievable. But yeah, I met Matt, gave him a hug. he signed the card, and then I asked him, this is what everyone's been questioning me about what Matt said to me about coming to the UK. Now, I don't know what year, okay, so no one really vouched me on this, because you can vouch me on everything, but don't ask me what year or anything, because I really did not ask him that question and I don't know. But I asked him, would they ever come to the UK in the future, like the actual future, like not now, not like next year or anything, just like generally, like in the future, would they just come to the UK? I wasn't, see, this is like, I wasn't even talking about them coming on a tour here. I just wanted to see if they would ever like visit the UK. But he must have probably thought like I was talking about tour, which I wasn't, by the way, Matt. I was talking just like in general, like for a holiday or something, like you ever gonna visit the UK? And he said, well, we gotta get this one finished first, and then hopefully next. And I'm just like, in my head I was like, is this motherfucker like, have they been speaking about touring in the UK, like internationally, like what? But I had to keep it cool. I was just like, okay, yeah, that's valid, that's good, like that's valid in my mind, that's valid. But I just said, okay, yeah, no, I understand. And then took pictures and then said bye. I tried to, this is how Matt noticed how like scared and like how shaky my hands were, because I had tried taking this signed card off the table. My hands were shaking that much, I could not grip it off the table. So he legit had to pass it to me because I just couldn't get it. So that was embarrassing. But my hands were like this, like legit the whole time. Like my hands were like this, but like faster and like more extreme and intense, and I just couldn't grip the card off the fucking table. So that was fun. Then I turned to Nick, and seeing Matt, they all smile, by the way. They all had like these massive smile on their faces, and their massive smiles just make you calm down a little bit. But I turned to Nick and I just saw him smiling, standing there waiting, and I'm just like Nick is so fucking beautiful in person. They all are. They don't look anything than what they do in the photos and YouTube or whatnot. Their voices are way different to how they sound on videos. Like they are not that deep, but they're a tad deeper. But yeah, seeing Nick, and I was just like, so I just felt extremely comfortable talking to Nick straight away. I was like, Nick, hi. Like I didn't greet Chris by his name. I really wanted to greet him as Owen. I was gonna do it, but I stopped myself because I didn't want him to think I was being weird by calling him by his middle name, when in reality I call a lot of people by their middle names. So it's like I was gonna greet him as Owen, but I stopped myself. Kind of regret doing that. Kind of wish I just went along with it. I didn't even greet Matt as Matt. I just said hi. But when it came to Nick, it was just like, Nick, hi. Like I was just, I don't know, like it just all came over me, and I was just like so excited to meet this boy. And then he was signing the card, and then I was like, oh, like I'm from the UK, because obviously when I talk you're gonna know I'm not from the States. A lot of people on my TikTok think I'm American when they look at me, but then when I start talking it's like, damn, you're British. I'm like, yeah, like I didn't know I looked American, but thanks, nice compliment, I guess. And he was like, yeah, no, like I was legit about to ask you that, like because like your accent. And I was just like, yeah, like I'm British. And then took a photo, and then he gave me, as he was giving me my signed card, he was like, oh, I like your outfit, by the way. And I was like, thank you, I love your outfit too. And then time to go into the hall and get ready and line up for a red carpet. Now when you walk into the hall, they make you go across this fucking, they have this, I don't see the point, because they have this thing on the floor and it's tape, you have to follow it, it's in a zigzag. Yeah, anyways, they have like this tape thing on the floor, and it's like in a zigzag kind of thing. It's like a maze, and you have to follow it around. I know it's to keep the lines intact, like legit how they should be, but it was very weird just going like this. But like I was in an airport all over again. Yeah. And then we was waiting, because obviously I was near the front in the beginning for Diamond, so you gotta wait for the rest of Diamond to do their small talk. And then after that, they let Golden so that they can get ready for the red carpet with us. So we were sitting on the floor, ended up sitting on the floor because of how long it was taking. We were sitting on the floor for about a good hour or so. Then the boys came out to do red carpet. They do front a line first, so we were still kind of sitting on the floor waiting. And then it came to just the actual Diamond package itself. Me and my friends wanted to get one big group photo, because I was team Chris, Caitlin was team Matt, and Lily was team Nick. So we were all in the 3 colours, so it was like, might as well get a big group fucking photo and stand next to the team person that we're on, you know? So I said, because Nick was on the very end, so you meet Chris first, Lily, you go, then Caitlin, then me. Kind of wish we did it that way around, but I don't know why I said that. But so Lily went to hug. Now before it was our turn to go, that line goes really quick, by the way. The man was like, oh, like, you all 3 doing it together? And we're like, yeah. So second Skittle I've dropped. So Lily went, she hugged them, and you know when Chris like stays turning his face in that way because he thinks it's just you? Yeah, this motherfucking bit. Then me and Caitlin were waiting to like hug them, and Chris didn't even know until the guy was like pointing, and Chris was like, and then turned around and was like, oh my god, like, are you all doing it together? And it's like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay then. And then hugged us, we hugged them, and we stood next to the boys. They asked what pose. Caitlin said the hearts, so we did the hearts. Now in my photo it looks like I'm leaning away from Chris because I don't want him near me. A few people have DM'd me about that. No, that's not the case. I guess the way we were posing, it was just the same, like we had the same thought in mind, like, you know, because with Lily and Nick, they both were leaning into each other, and with Matt and Caitlin, they were leaning into each other. Now I should have probably leaned into Chris a bit more to make it look like the group photo, like we're legit like leaning into our teammates, but it's like a team person. But like my mind was just like, yep. And yeah, so I wasn't leaning away from Chris on purpose. It was just the way my mind was set, and I just naturally, you know, I think it's because I wanted to be more near Caitlin too, so it was like, let me lean like towards you kind of thing. But like, you know, so we did the hearts, we got the photo, and we got to barricade, then wait for everyone else. The wait for the show was very long, dehydrating. I was dehydrated, like dehydrated. The bar wasn't open, don't know why. I needed a drink. So yeah, we was waiting, and everyone started coming in, and it was just like everyone, that floor filled. It came to like 7:30. The show still hadn't even started, but we were just all chilling and vibing to the songs. I'm guessing it was Chris's playlist, because the songs was Chris's type of songs, I'm guessing. Then I think it was coming towards 8, and they played That's What I Like by Bruno Mars, and we all of us fans just started like screaming out the lyrics. Like we were legit singing to that song. And then that's when the boys came out, And they legit, I feel like that would be like such a cute moment, like just walk, like imagine just like walking on out to the stage and you just come out and your fans are singing a song that you're playing on your playlist, like, bro. So they came out while we were singing, and obviously we shut up. Then it was the show. The teammates already picked, so it's like before the show. So Laura picks them during like small talk and during waiting for the show, like on the floor. Like, so Laura picks them. So for anyone that thinks the boys are picking them, nope. Laura picks them. Like, Laura legit picks them herself. So the first game was popular vote, and of course Matt got it, so that's a point there. Then it came to meeting the teammates and bringing teammates out. Chris's teammate was fucking amazing, bro. He had such a good teammate for that show. Loved her. Bless her little heart. She was so adorable. Every time they would win or something, she'd like jump around and be like, yeah. Like, it was so cute. The second game part was the painting. So they painted the boys. So the boys would stand there and they just like the girls would paint, but you have like 2 minutes to do it. And then I can't remember who won on these, so that's something I couldn't tell you. You'd have to look on social media for that. Probably like STURNIOLO team or something. But then it was the quiz, which some of the answers are stupid, by the way. Like, and the questions, like, I don't remember which one it was, but it was so stupid, and I was just like, what animal is a seahorse? Hello? Well, clearly it's a fucking fish. It's in the sea. Everything that's in the sea is mainly classed as a fish. Not all aquatic animals, by the way, but I'm on about those kind of ones. It's classed as a fucking fish. Hello? Like, what kind of question is that? And then it was basketball. I loved the basketball one. It was so good. Just like watching them play basketball in person was like crazy. I was just like shooting hoops. Like, if I was the one that was on stage, bro, I used to play netball and I used to be the shooter. So that would probably be the only thing that I would be good at on that stage for that show. It was legit the basketball part, because my aim is actually quite good when I'm shooting hoops. But with basketball, Chris won that one. I know that one for sure. And it came to Jenga. I love Jenga, but watching Jenga for like 20 minutes is the most boringest thing ever. But when you've got the STURNIOLOs, when you've got Matt, Nick, and Grace, and then you've got their teammates playing, it's the most intense feeling ever. Like, you can feel the tension, and it's so scary because you're like, who's gonna fucking knock it over? Like, this is so intense. And it's like, especially when the tower starts to get really difficult, like there's hardly anything on the bottom, but it's all at the top, and you gotta try not to make sure like it falls. So that was scary. And then Matt, he puts it on top. It was fine. Nick was getting ready to give Matt his microphone, and the tower just knocks over. And then Matt tried blaming it on Nick. It was so fucking funny. But no, it was Matt. It wasn't Nick. It just fell over. Nick was legit walking over to Matt to give him his microphone, I think. And it just fell. And Chris won. Whoop, whoop. Never back down, never what? But yeah, Chris won the show. Got crowned. Got the the girls got their medals. Chris got the winner medal, and the girls get like this hat, and it says like I was on stage with the STURNIOLOs or something. I get pictures all taken together, and then after that we then wait for backstage, so we get given our backstage passes. So actually, in reality, I was supposed to be in the first group, not the second group, because of the way we were lined. But I didn't want to be left without my friends and be the only one in this group where I don't know anybody. So it was like very awkward. So I said to the guy, I was like, no. And he's like, what? And I was like, can I please just like be with my friends in the other group? Because like I cannot physically be in a group by myself. And he was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Like we can swap someone over from this group and like swap you over. And I was like, thanks. So the first group went in first, and we were just sitting on the floor for about 10-15 minutes. Waiting, and then it got to like the last 2 minutes of their backstage time, and we got, bro, it felt like I was in a horror movie. It legit felt like I was in a horror movie. That was the most scariest experience of my life. I legit thought I was gonna get kidnapped or murdered, because they take you down the stairs into the basement. They take you to the basement of the building. I literally felt like I was gonna get kidnapped. Like, bro, so they took us and was going downstairs and going into the basement. You go through, and then you're in another hall. I think it's like an extra hall that they have. But it felt like it's so scary. And obviously the boys were like here, and obviously we had to wait around the corner while they're still having their time, because like obviously fans being fans, because some can be crazy. So we're just waiting, and it was time to meet them. There was only like 7 of us. There was me, Kaylin, Lily, Stevie, and 3 other girls as well. It was time to meet them. We were walking towards the entrance, and I can't remember who said it. I don't know if it was Matt or Nick, but one of them said like, girls that come in, like come up to any of us, we're all open and free. And we're just like, okay, like, you know. I was holding Lily's hand at this point. We were walking in holding hands because I was terrified, because it wasn't because I was seeing them again. It was that terrified moment was because I was taken down basically into a basement, you know. And she saw Nick was open, and she let go of my hand and ran over to Nick, and I was left there by myself, and my jaw dropped. I was looking at her like, you know. And then I looked at Chris, and he was looking at me laughing, and I was like, well, it looks. And then Stevie went over to Matt, so I went over to Chris, and I legit said to him like, it looks like I'm coming to you then. And then he was laughing, and he was like, yeah, like, and then he had his hand up ready for a high five, so we high-fived. And then we just had a conversation. I was asking him like what his opinion was on people calling him by his middle name, because obviously I wanted to call him Owen when I first saw him, but I just stopped myself. So I really wanted to know, like, if I ever saw him in the future, am I able to call him Owen? So I asked him, and he was like, at first like I had to get him to repeat himself, because it was quite sad, because also I can't hear properly, so it's like, can you repeat that please, kind of thing. So I said to him, I was like, I don't know why I said it to each of them. The weirdest thing ever. I think I was just trying to be polite, but I kept saying to them like, okay, I have a question for you. And they're like, yeah, okay, go ahead, you know, like, I have a question. I don't know why I say that, because I guess you could just ask them naturally, but me being very polite, I wanted to do the right thing and just ask for permission to ask you a question. I was like, what's your like opinion on people calling you by Owen, like by your middle name? And then he started to explain it, and then he was like, wait, my middle name? And I was like, yeah, like people, like someone calling you Owen, and like someone calling you Owen instead of like your first name. And then he was like, oh yeah, no, like it wouldn't bother me, like you know, like I'm cool with it, and I would be cool with it. And I was like, Well, I was gonna call you Owen when I first saw you, but I stopped myself because I didn't know how you was gonna react to it, and I didn't want to come across I didn't want to come across as weird, so I stopped myself, even though I like calling people by their middle names instead of like their first names because I feel weird. And then he was like, yeah, no, like I'm totally cool with it, like you can call me Owen. And I was like, well, that's next time, so be it. And then he asked if he could bless him. He didn't have to ask, I guess he was just being polite, and he was like, can I sign your Backstage pass? And I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. The way they say Backstage pass is so funny, but it's so adorable at the same time. Like, Americans pronouncing some words is just like, it's cute. Americans, by the way, I wasn't just talking about the boys, like Americans, when they pronounce things. And then we took some pictures, and then I saw there was a girl behind me, bless her, she was tiny, like she was tinier than me, so I was thinking like I'm just gonna give up and just like go to Matt next or something. I was giving her time. Backstage is, bearing in mind, Backstage is 10 minutes, and I had 5 minutes with Chris. I did time it. I had 5 minutes with Chris by myself, so I had the most time with Chris. And I felt really, really comfortable by then, just like naturally talking. I was able to look him in the eyes the whole time this time. Yes. I can't make eye contact, okay? If I'm too scared, I won't physically look you in the eyes. So that's small talk, I only looked him in the eye like twice. While he was talking and I was talking, I wasn't looking at his eyes the whole time. I only looked at them twice. Same with Matt and Nick. But then when it came to Backstage, I was looking at him in the eyes the whole time. I was just like having a nice conversation. We were both just laughing around. Then I went to Caitlin, ready to wait for her to go to Matt so then I can go to Matt. And Lily was still talking to Nick at this point. I think she went to Chris next. And then Caitlin, once Stevie was finished with Matt, I don't know who she went to, but Caitlin blurted out, looked at me, looked at Matt, and said, by the way, she has a fear of triplets. Matt looked at me and said, triplets, that's crazy. And I was just like standing there, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say because I wasn't expecting her to actually blurt it out. And then so she spoke to Matt, then it was my turn, and then again I have a question while he was just sitting there, and I was just, I don't know why I asked it, and he was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay, I don't, how these boys remember everything from so long ago is crazy. Like, if I was like, they remember everyone that they meet, so if they see them a second time or something, they recognize their face. Like, it's crazy. So I said to him, I was like, last tour, I don't know if you remember anything from last tour, but I'm gonna ask anyways. He was like, yeah, no, I remember everything. So I was like, okay. I was like, do you remember like last tour, like this Instagram post? And he was looking at me as if to say like, elaborate so I can say yes or no. And I was like, and someone posted an Instagram post with like a tattoo on their side. And he was like, no, yeah, no, and I was like, and you commented on it. And he was like, yeah, no, I remember. And I was like, that's me. And he goes, that's you? And I was like, that's me? And he was like, that's crazy. But the tattoo was nice. And I was like, thanks. I was like, it wasn't supposed to be that big. Because on the picture, the tattoo looks massive, but it's the angle the woman put it at. And it was just freshly done. So the writing did look big, but the writing's actually not that big. But I said to him, I was like, it wasn't supposed to look that big on the picture, but the way the woman angled it made it look big. And I said, that was a 4.5 hour session, by the way. He was like, really? And I was like, yeah, like legit, like, and it didn't hurt one bit. And then we just spoke a little bit more. And then he asked to sign my Backstage pass, and he was going to sign the wrong side, but he looked for where Chris signed his. So he done that, and then we took some photos, and then that was that done. And then I went to Nick. Love Nick so much. And so I had about 3 minutes with Matt, and then my last 2 minutes I spent with Nick. So I went to Nick, greeted him. He signed my Backstage pass straight away. We took some photos straight away, and then it's a third fucking skill. And then I said to him, I was like, you have new tattoos, right? And he was like, yeah. And then he was gonna show me the ones we've already seen. And I'm not stupid, because me and Lily noticed he had a wrist tattoo that no one has seen really. And he, remember in a video, he said for us to figure it out. Well, yeah, we saw that he had a wrist one and no one has like seen it. So I asked him about it. I said, do you have one on the wrist, right? And he goes, yeah. And then he showed, I was like, can I see it? And then he showed me, and it was in his mom's handwriting. It's some writing. I don't really want to say it just in case. So I'm not going to say what the tattoo said, but it was literally, he was like, it's in my mom's handwriting. And I looked at it and I was like, that is the most cutest thing ever. Like, his mom's handwriting tattooed on his wrist is the most cutest thing ever. And then he gave me a Backstage hat. Like, he gave me the limited edition Backstage hat for like just Backstage, I'm guessing. And then we were all gonna leave, but we got told to stay. And then I guess you get a group photo with them. So the way we did it was hilarious. Okay, the man asked, okay, so it's group photo time, you can get a group photo on your phone with the boys. And we're like, yeah, okay, cool. Until the man asked, and he was like, okay, so who wants to go first? I stepped back so quick in my life. I was like, not me. Like, I legit looked at them and said, not me, because like, ain't no fucking way I'm going up to them to get my photo done by myself. So all of us, all 7 of us stepped back and said, not me. The boys were just looking at us thinking, what the fuck are these girls doing? Like, not me. Nope, that's all you heard from each of us is no, not me. And then Stevie went first. And then the guys said to me, Lily and Galen, like, because you're a group, you can have your group photo together. So it was like, okay. So it was our turn next. Lily was already next to Nick. I was next to Matt. And then Kaylee said, I need to be next to Matt. And I was like, why are you putting me in this situation, bro? So I looked at Chris and I was like, I guess I'm next to you. And then, yeah, we took a couple of photos, normal. And then Nick was like, don't move. Like, okay, I'm here. I'm stationary. I'm not going anywhere, you know? And then he was like, we're gonna take a 0.5, and we were like, oh, okay. So we took a 0.5, and then we could have hugged them, but the security wanted us out so quick because they had to go to their red carpet with the silver package before they got their stuff and went on their way to Seattle. And then so we went, and as I was walking out the door, I legit shouted, whether he heard it or not, I don't give a fuck, but I legit shouted, like, Chris, like, Pepsi's vile, by the way. It was really vile. But then, yeah. And then that was it. That was the end of it. Like, it was such a good experience. Would I do it over again? Of course, as many times as possible. But yeah. That was my experience of meeting the boys. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to put in as much detail as possible. If there's ever a future tour, I'll make sure to actually vlog that tour. But yeah, stay tuned on my TikTok for my small talk conversations. My Instagram and TikTok socials are linked down below, so make sure you go click them. Stay tuned for a baking video and a trying American snacks video. I've still got them two to edit and do, so stay tuned for them too. Let me know how you like this video, like, comment, do whatever. Also, as I said, comment whatever you guys want me to do, I'll do. So whatever you want to see me do, just comment below and then I'll get with it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Love you all. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever. But till then,
Savvy, I do what I want. She asked me where my hoodie from. That's fresh love for the fit. On D&D, I don't pick it up cause my bitch told me let's trip. Yeah, it's up, now it's down.